Hi, I'm Sergeant speaking with Earthwalker Primitive. I want to go over real quick starting a fire with a fire steel. I got here my fire steel from my friends at Sir Night Lodge. It's a really good fire steel. Puts out a lot of spark. Great thing to have in your fire kit. I always have mine in my fire kit. Always carry mine with me wherever I go. First thing I want to talk about though is getting yourself a tinder bundle to start your fire. Right now it's almost 9 o'clock in the morning. Out here in this area where I'm at right now is very damp, very wet. There's water all around me, green vegetation all around me. A lot of the stuff is damp, moist, and rotten. Finding tinder in this kind of area, you definitely want to try to stay off the ground as much as you can. Look for dead trees. There's a couple dead pines that I was able to get some very, very dry pine needles off of. Did find enough leaves that were dry and crackly. When you want to use dead leaves, you want to make sure that they're very crumbly and break and snap in your hand. You don't want something that's pliable. If it falls apart in your hand and it's dry and it's brown, it's good to go. Trying to find good dry tinder in the woods like this, especially in the morning. One good trick is to look where the sun's hitting. If you find where the sun's hitting the ground, that's an area that gets sun more often. Usually the stuff there is drier, gets dried out earlier in the day, and is a lot drier than everything else. So I'd walk around this area where I was finding sun beaming through the woods, stuff that was getting hit by sunlight for a while. I was able to find a lot of good dry stuff. I also got in here a couple little bits of dry grass that I did find in the sun. It's completely brown, completely dry. I found a bunch of dead fibrous plants that have been baked up by the sun. Anything that has a lot of fiber in it is completely dry. You don't want any moisture. The whole point is to get this as dry as you can. Anything that's wet is not going to catch that spark and burn. So you want to get a flame as quick as possible. If it's wet, it's just going to smolder. It's just going to smoke. It's not going to burst into a flame. Also got a piece of really dry. I did find a log that was really, really dry, rotted wood. I put a little bit of that down here as a base. Put my tinder bundle on. That way it keeps it off the moisture in the ground. And I also got a couple shavings of birch bark in there. Basically, all I'm going to do, what you want to do is when you're making a tinder bundle, as you can see here, I even got these stems of really dried fibrous plants, weeds. The whole point of making this bundle is to get as much surface area as you possibly can to catch that spark. You want as many of those sparks hitting as much of this area as you can to catch and be able to take a flame. So you're going to take this material and you're just going to mix it up, smash it around your hand, and then smashing it all together much like a bird's nest. If you ever do find a bird's nest, it's one of the ideal tinder bundles out there. That's why they do call tinder bundles a bird's nest, because the dried leaves and twigs that they make their birds make their nests out of is really compact, has a lot of surface area, plus it's super dry when they're rolled. So we're just going to get this ground up as much as we can to get as much surface area and to get these fibers broken up. You break these fibers up and they're a lot easier to ignite. We're going to place our tinder bundle on that dry wood I spoke about earlier. Keep it off the moisture in the ground. I already got staged my kindling, smaller pieces of dry wood. Went around, snapped a couple dead tree limbs and branches off. If you go to grab a piece of wood, especially if it's a tree that's in the ground, it's coming off a tree, if you go to grab it and break it off, if it bends, it's green, it's not going to catch flame fast, it's just going to smoke. Too much water. If you grab a stick and it just snaps right off, and you can take it and just break it into pieces, it's plenty enough dry to catch on fire. So now, we're going to go ahead and take our fire steel. We're going to place it down, we're going to balance it on that wood. Trying to get this smooth around here so I can get some of the drier stuff in there. I had one started there, but I lost it. There we go. Had it. It's the most delicate time of starting a fire is when you get that coal starting to catch and you gotta slowly blow it on. Good thing is, even though I'm missing these flames and they're going out, it is heating up that tinder and drying it. It's even making some charred material in there, which is going to help catch. I had a lot of flame in that one, and it's just so damp. But even if you got dry material, just the dampness in the area, once the dry stuff catches, starts heating up that dampness, and steam comes in and starts putting out your flame. Saw me jump there a little bit earlier. I heard something pretty loud, and this kind of spooked me. As some of you might know, I'm a war veteran, so sometimes a little bit of sudden, unexpected noises kind of get me startled a little bit. Maybe that noise was the fire god walking up on me and helping me out. Delicate part, not smothering your fire. Giving your fire time to build up some heat. So it's strong enough to catch your kindling. Kind of caught my glove there. I say it's really, really wet. You can tell that by all the smoke. That will get you in your eyes. It never fails. Whenever you start a fire, the smoke always goes straight to you. At least it does for me. Guess that's just my Irish luck. Which means you have no luck if you know anything about the Irish luck. Well, as you can see, I showed how to start a fire with a fire steel and a little bit of a lesson on starting a fire in some damp climate with some damp product as we had here. Just to show that even with great technique, solid techniques, seeming something that you've done for a while. I've started fires this way hundreds of times, but any given day you can have a difficulty starting a fire. As we saw here, just with the dampness of this area, it was really difficult getting this tinder going. But with a little bit of work, as we saw earlier, that definitely was the fire god sneaking up on me and giving me a little bit of a help out there with this fire. So hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed the video. Come back again and watch some more. Sorry, I'm speaking with Earthwalker Primitives. Thank you.